Volusia County is known for its award-winning trail system. We'll hear about the many benefits of a paddling trail. Then the summer food program serves children when school is out. And we'll fill you in on just some of the many services offered by Volusia County's Public Transportation Service, otherwise known as Votran, especially during times of an emergency. Those stories and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson, and I hope you stay tuned. It's hurricane season. Do you have an evacuation plan? Votran can help. All Votran bus stops are evacuation collection points during a declared emergency evacuation order.
In the case of emergencies, uncontrollable emergencies such as hurricanes, Votran falls under the control of Volusia County Emergency Management. Votran buses continue to run on normal routes. At that point, if there's a state of declared emergency and there's an evacuation order, no fares are charged, and each Votran bus stop becomes an evacuation collection point.
For people with special needs evacuations, Votran Gold buses are dispatched to pick up passengers and take them to the special needs shelters, then return them home when the emergency is over.
In the event of an evacuation where a person with special needs needs to be evacuated and they can't access the fixed route bus stops, arrangements can always be made to get a Votran Gold accessible vehicle to come pick them up at their home and take them to a special needs shelter where their individual needs can be met.
For more emergency preparedness information, or if you'd like more information about Votran's many services, you can visit volusia.org. To make sure needy children don't go hungry when school's out, Volusia County is sponsoring a summer food service program for children at more than 80 schools, churches, or other sites throughout the county. The program, funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, provides nutritionally balanced meals during summer vacation when school breakfasts and lunch are not available. All children ages 18 and younger are eligible for meals at no charge. The programs are approved for geographical areas where 50% or more of the children qualify for free and reduced price lunch meals during the school year. Summer feeding sites that are in schools will provide meals to all children in the immediate vicinity, in addition to those enrolled in the summer program.
I just want to encourage those families that cannot afford the meal, feels like there's a cost involved. There's no cost involved. And we want to make sure that people are aware that these sites are available, and any child that's under the age of 18 can go to any of those sites and receive a nourished meal.
This year's program will operate from June 10th through August 16th. For a list of summer food sites, you can call Volusia County's Human Services Division at 386-736-5956, or you can visit the Summer Food website at summerfoodflorida.org to find a site near you. The Volusia County Council has joined the St. Johns River Alliance in endorsing the designation of the entire St. Johns River as a paddling trail and part of the Blue Way system. The County Council made the endorsement at its June 6th meeting. The application by the St. Johns River Alliance will go to the Florida Department of Environmental Protection, Office of Greenways and Trails. Volusia County has been supporting the enjoyable use of the river as a paddling trail by providing public facilities along the 59 miles of Volusia shore, including boat ramps, camping, and picnic areas. District 5 County Council Representative Pat Northey, who serves on the St. Johns River Alliance Board of Directors, said a designation for the entire river will bring many benefits.
The St. Johns River is our only American heritage river in the state of Florida. It starts in Indian River County in Lake Hellzablazon and runs north. It flows north to Jacksonville, where it empties into the Atlantic Ocean. It is 310 miles long, and the council just agreed to designate it as a Blue Way, a paddling trail. Why is that important? Because that will bring economic development for nature-based tourism. Our tourism interests, nature lovers will be able to get out on the river and go 310 miles by kayak or by canoe. That's a long trip, but they will be able to view all of the different flora and fauna that is so unique to this river.
For more information on the St. Johns River Alliance, you can visit stjohnsriveralliance.com.
This is sea turtle nesting season. Sea turtles typically use the beach at night, so never shine lights on sea turtles' nests, hatchlings, or adult turtles. Ensure lights are not visible from the beach. While enjoying your night walk, use a red LED bulb or a red filtered light. Bright artificial lights can deter turtles from nesting or lead them away from the water. The beach belongs to everyone, including our sea turtles. Thank you for making it a safer place for everyone to enjoy.
The Ponce de Leon Inlet Light Station is a National Historic Landmark. And as Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley explains, it's a beacon of light that has led navigators to the Volusia County shores for nearly 125 years.
Probably since the bicentennial, Americans have begun to realize the rich engineering history of structures in America and find the importance of those structures.
The structures John Mann is referring to are lighthouses. Mann is a tour guide for the Ponce de Leon Lighthouse in Ponce Inlet. It's the tallest lighthouse in Florida and the third tallest lighthouse in the United States.
This particular lighthouse is one of a series of tall coastal aids to navigation that was built by the United States Lighthouse Service to help, of course, navigators ply the various waters north and south of the east coast of Florida.
The Ponce de Leon Lighthouse is a private and active aid to navigation, although it's not run by the Coast Guard. The Ponce de Leon Lighthouse Preservation Society maintains the light, turning it on every night and off each morning. Construction of the lighthouse began in 1884 and was first lit November 1st, 1887. Back then it was known as the Mosquito Inlet Lighthouse. The name changed in 1926 to Ponce de Leon Inlet Lighthouse. The explorer Ponce de Leon was believed to have been there in 1513. If you're going to walk the lighthouse, you have to be in good physical condition because you'll be climbing 203 steps to the top. And once you climb all the way to the top, you can take in the breathtaking views of the intercoastal and the Atlantic Ocean. And while the view is great, the lighthouse is a great lesson in American history. One of the most famous American short stories actually had a great deal to do with this lighthouse. In 1897, the USS Commodore sunk 12 miles out to sea, with author Stephen Crane on board. Crane and 3 companions spent 30 hours coming ashore in a 10-foot dinghy, following the light from the lighthouse. The sinking of the Commodore in part led the author to writing the famous short story, The Open Boat. But as Mann points out, there is much more to this historic lighthouse than just the lighthouse.
In addition to the light tower itself, there are the 3 residences of the 3 keepers who were here, and also the outbuildings, which serve, in addition to the residences, as museums.
The Lighthouse Museum has a large exhibit on the Commodore, as well as other historic artifacts through the end of 1997, representing Florida heritage, maritime tradition, and lighthouses of the world. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
The Ponce de Leon Lighthouse is open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and during the summer months from May 28th through September 3rd, it's open until 9 p.m. Admission is just $5 for adults and $1.50 for children 11 and under. For more information, you can visit ponceinlet.org. In many communities, families with young children are struggling to make ends meet. The Early Learning Coalition administers the school readiness program that invests in early learning by helping families afford quality child care. Stephanie Strong has more in this segment of Community Health Matters.
Don't you hear the whistle blowing. Rise up so early in the morning.
Elizabeth Davis loves to read stories to her 3-year-old granddaughter, Leah. She is Leah's legal guardian and has her best interests at heart, including quality child care.
Such quality facilities as inspirations, to be able to know that when you drop her off, she's safe, she's learning. It's more than just running around playing all day long. She's learning, I mean, here she learns valuable life skills about kindness and generosity and play, and it's hard to even describe all the things she's learned that we think we're teaching her at home, and she comes home and she teaches us things.
The Early Learning Coalition of Flagler and Volusia has been around since the late 90s, helping parents increase their child's chances of educational success. Working with about 200 child care providers in Volusia and Flagler counties, the program provides children from birth to 5 years old with the best opportunities to be prepared for school.
Well, the role of early learning in a child's life is to help them grow from birth to 5 and be ready for school when they enter kindergarten. Be social, emotionally ready, and be academically ready.
The coalition recognizes that parents are children's primary first teachers, but also recognizes that by participating in quality school readiness programs, children will be prepared for success in school and in life.
They benefit because those children then tend to be more prepared for kindergarten. They tend to then be able to perform well in school, grow, graduate from high school, go to college, be able to be productive members of society, and then give back to the community as they get older.
The Early Learning Coalition is a very important partner in our community, organizing child care for parents who need care for their children.
According to the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, children who participate in quality school readiness programs were less likely to be involved in criminal activity or be arrested, less likely to rely on social services such as welfare, less likely to have children out of wedlock, and more likely than non-participants to earn more, own a home, or a second car.
We help to prepare children for kindergarten, first and foremost by building a strong foundation. We do that by encouraging the children and praising the children so they become very confident, caring individuals, and we let them know that they are members of society and they have a lot to contribute, that we have faith and confidence in them. We build on the self-esteem, and from that strong foundation, the children go on and they enter kindergarten with all the successful ingredients they need to be successful.
For more information, please visit www.elcfv.org.
So it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Florida Department of Health in Volusia County.
As always, if you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can log on to volusiahealth.com. Let's head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Circuit Court Judge Joesph Will.
Well, thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. It's not surprising that drug abuse is a direct or indirect factor in the majority of crimes. So in an effort to address the root cause of many people's problems, some offenders in Volusia County are sentenced to drug court to see if they can turn their lives around. And the results indeed have been startling. The drug court on May 28th marked its 16th year by celebrating the success of people who are drug-free and likely not to return to the court system. Today we have with us Circuit Court Judge Joesph Will, who's one of the judges that presides over drug court. Judge Will, thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Hey, we've talked about this several times in the past. Tell us about drug court. I mean, for those people that don't understand what it is, tell us about drug court.
Drug court is a program designed to pull people off the conveyor belt of justice. We have maybe 7,000 people that come through our felony court each year in Volusia County. And we know from research, solid research that's out there, that 80–85% of the people who are involved in those 7,000 crimes have some sort of issue with substances, be it alcohol or some other kind of illicit drug, maybe some of the synthetic opiates these days. But we know that the overwhelming majority of those people are engaged in this with drugs or alcohol involved in it in some way. And so this is an effort, instead of just simply punishing the criminal, trying to find out what the source of the problem is, correcting that problem, and then trying to help that person get re-engaged in society. That's the kind of easy way of saying it. It's a very complicated program with a lot of moving parts and a lot of players who are involved in it, a lot of really dedicated people who have made the program work as well as it does. I personally believe that this drug court, the Volusia County Adult Drug Court program, is one of the best drug courts in the entire country. We do a great job here. 70% of our people don't ever darken the door of the criminal justice system again. And by that I don't mean that they're not convicted of a crime. I mean they're not even arrested for anything again. And that's a pretty impressive figure when you think that these are folks that came into court with felonies, you know, our most serious crimes, yet we don't see them again after the program finishes up. And that's an almost direct reversal of what we traditionally get out of our system. Our criminal justice system, when we incarcerate people in either jail or prison, sees back again within 3 years 1/3 of the 2/3 of the people that go into the system.
Wow.
And that's preposterous.
Yeah.
That's a total fail. If we're looking for, is this a win or a lose, a pass or a fail? That's a total fail. And drug court gives us a chance to do much, much better.
And you know, Judge, the thing of it is, it's not only the individual that you're helping to recover their lives, but there's the benefit to society. People aren't out breaking into your back door and that sort of thing. And also the rejuvenation of families who have to put up with a substance abuser, and there's all kinds of problems associated with that.
The problems just go on and on and on. Every division in our circuit court, I've worked in all of our divisions, and I can tell you that all of them have some involvement, most of them a great involvement with substance abuse of one kind or another, and of course addiction. And the savings are phenomenal. The financial savings, just on the top of the analysis, it costs less than $6,000 per year per person to take people through the drug court program. Yet our incarceration, we know, costs us much, much more. The average cost of a year in prison is more than $30,000.
Sure.
So we all ask, why would we want to go through with our standard incarcerative form of punishing people, only to know that 2/3 of them will be back in jail or prison within 3 years at a cost of $30,000, when we can reverse the effects of that and keep 70% of the people out of the system at 1/5 the cost. It's a no-brainer across the board, and it's something that we should be expanding as far and as wide as we can.
Judge, how do you select a person to go through the drug court program?
We take people who have nonviolent felonies.
That's what I thought. I mean,
yeah. Well, and really, truth be known, we could have the same impact on the violent felons, but it's a little hard to sell to all of the people who participate in the program that we would be providing this kind of assistance to violent people. But its day will come, because you have to think, you know, if you're going to be impacted by a crime, you're going to be much more severely impacted usually by violence than you will by theft or those kinds of things. So one day we'll get there, but right now we handle nonviolent felonies. We look for people who have high risk and high need for substance abuse and committing more crime. We don't take weekend beer drinkers. We are looking for people who are serious addicts, who are really drawn to crime because of their addiction. And we have gauges that we measure this on, and we try to take the toughest cases, which is another thing that's very impressive about our outcome numbers. When you figure that 70% of our people don't come back, when we have hand-picked the toughest cases in our felony courts, that makes it doubly impressive.
You know, one of the other things that I think probably the public that's watching this would want to know is what do you have to do to successfully complete drug court? Because you and I have talked about this in the past. This is no cakewalk.
No, it's very hard.
Yeah.
It's much harder than doing probation or even community control. And I think for most of our participants when they come in, it's a lot harder than going to jail. Jail's pretty easy. It's miserable, but it's easy. You just show up every day. You know, you're there.
You're there. Yeah.
But what we require of people, it's a four-stage program that can last. It can be completed in a year, but for most people, it's around 15 to 18 months. We have some people for much longer. We have people that have been with us for 3 years, 4 years. And they have been successful at the same rate that the quick studies have. But the things that you have to do to be a part of the program, each week in our phase 1, when you first come into the program, you will come to court once a week and face the judge. You will go to group counseling sessions no less than 4 times. You will be at AA or NA meetings at least 5 times during that week. You'll be at our lab, randomly selected at least twice a week to make sure that you're not continuing to use drugs. If you don't complete those tasks, then we have an immediate reward and sanction system that kicks into place right then. That's why people come back to court once a week in that first phase. And there are serious sanctions that really are disruptive. As we move into phase 2, we cut down your involvement in some of the treatment, but we up the ante in some respects too. Now you have to have a job, because we want everyone working in drug court. And I'm proud to report to you that we have virtually everyone working in drug court, working in jobs above the table, paying taxes, supporting the community and supporting their families.
Right.
And we decreased the treatment a little bit at phase 2. In phase 3, we decreased it a little bit more. And phase 4 is kind of a monitoring phase so that we're seeing people are doing well. Everybody's coming to the lab. Everybody's staying clean. We have a very quick response time in our drug court. We do a lot of things electronically now. So if somebody goes to the lab when the lab closes down at 10 o'clock and at 11 o'clock we know that they were positive, then a warrant is usually out by 11:15. And there's a quick return on it, which is very, very important when you're working with behavioral psychology, which is exactly what we're doing. We have people who help us learn how to apply behavioral psychology to getting people through the recovery process.
So in other words, if you fall off the wagon, you make a mistake, you fall off the wagon, you're sanctioned pretty hard.
Oh, you're going to go to jail.
You're
not going to go to jail forever. You're going to go to jail for 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, and then we're going to come back and we're going to start the program over, pretty much from scratch, and we're going to keep doing this until we get it done. And it takes an incredible amount of patience for our staff and the people that work in it, and an incredible amount of patience for our participants as well. Because if you can imagine trying to work a full-time job at the same time that you're meeting all these requirements with drug court, it's quite a hassle. It's a very difficult program to get through, and it's not for sissies. It's just not.
All right, so you go through drug court, 18 months, 24 months, whatever it takes. Is there any monitoring upon successful completion? I mean, what happens? How do you follow people at that point?
We let people go at that point. I'm happy to tell you that we have a lot of people come back that are very happy, happy with their new lives, with their new families, with everything that's happening for them. They come back and talk with us, but the only way that we actually monitor people then is through the criminal justice monitoring system.
Right.
Because we want to check recidivism. We want to know, have they become involved in crime again? Because we don't want to be like so many programs have been in our country over the last century, where you pick a program and you just do it whether it works or not. We want to have a program that we know works, that it's successful, that it's a wise expenditure of the money, and that everybody that's in it is engaged as a partner or otherwise is getting the full benefit of it.
You know, one of the, I guess one of the most heartwarming and touching things that occurs with drug court is the graduation ceremony. You know, we've had video here on Volusia Magazine about it, and you've told us numerous times that it brings tears to your eyes because you actually have families that have actually been saved. I mean, they have a new lease on life.
They do have a new lease on life. I love our graduations. They kind of give me a new lease on life. I get pumped up again and I start believing in all those things that we've all believed in when we were young, and they fall by the boards as we age.
Right.
But you know, I believe in the power of redemption, and I believe in the power of forgiveness, and I believe in the power that people have when they take their lives back, when they're independent and they're in control of their lives. It's a beautiful thing to watch someone who has come from the jail with sores all over their face and half their teeth missing and hair that looks like straw, and see those people, those men and women, come through the program and regain control over their lives, their health, and their happiness, to move into their own place, to pay for it with their own salary. It's a beautiful thing to see. And it's very, very rewarding work for all of us.
And the program has been in effect now, Judge, I guess 16 years.
16 years for our adult drug court program. We have a couple newer programs that are also really great programs. We have a family drug court program for people who are involved in dependency cases where there's an allegation that children are being abused, abandoned, or neglected. And of course, substance abuse and addiction are at the heart of that very often. And our family drug court is doing well. It's doing very well in reuniting people with their families, with their children. And we have a DUI court now that is also It's in its fledgling stages, but it's looking really good. They've had about 3 graduations now of people through their program, and we're seeing some people there that are going to be doing better. You know, it doesn't make a heck of a lot of sense when you're talking about DUI cases to simply make people pay a fine, be without their license for a short period of time, and then release them to drive on our streets again and put all of us at risk if they haven't done anything to get a hold of that alcohol problem.
Right.
It's, you know, the alcohol problem's at the root of the bad driving, and we need to get it to the heart of what's at the bottom of the alcohol problem if we're going to make a difference. I feel so much better knowing that people are going into a DUI court and program than I ever felt about cracking down on them and making pay big fines.
Right.
A big fine doesn't really make you change your behavior very often. You think about all the things, every time we get a speeding ticket, you know, we pay the big fine, but do it again.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, Judge, I want to thank you for sharing the information with us. The program is called Drug Court, obviously very successful in Volusia County. I know you've been very involved with it, and obviously you're excited, and the results speak for themselves, I guess.
It's great work. I'll tell you, it's become my passion. I love it.
And by the way, I like your shirt, your jacket, and your pants. They look very nice.
I think we go the same decorator, yeah.
Thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Our guest today is Circuit Court Judge Joesph Will. The program is called Drug Court. And with that, we'll go back to you, Amber.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council meeting calendar there too. You can even use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. In fact, there's an activity coming up. Residents can experience the African Queen for themselves. The book and the movie adaptations, that is, during free programs at the Daytona Beach Regional Library at City Island. The movie will be shown at dusk Friday, June 28th at Riverfront Park on the corner of Beach Street and Magnolia Avenue. There will also be a book discussion on July 1st. For more information, you can call Adult Program Coordinator Deborah Schaefer at 386-257-6036, extension 16264. And finally, we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's weekly radio program. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.